Good morning. I'm Councillor Glen, and this is my weekly update for Saturday, July 26th. This morning, I am at the Amberwood Village recreation facility. You can see the golf course behind me and some folks teeing off there. There's also the swimming pool, which is a great place to cool off, and the pickleball courts as well. 10 pickleball courts here. You can get a membership, and you can access some or all of the recreation and amenities here, or you don't have to be a member to come and enjoy as well. So if you want to dip in the pool, you can pay a day rate and do that. I think it's a great spot to cool off on a hot day like today. It's already hot here. Amberwood Village, one of our Stittsville gems here in the community. I've got a lot of updates for you. I wanted to start again this week with road safety. We continue to have some really serious collisions with vulnerable road users. When I say vulnerable road users, I mean pedestrians, cyclists, motorcycles. By my count, in the last 3 weeks, we've had 6 serious collisions involving these vulnerable road users, and we've had more collisions involving car drivers. So I just want to remind everybody to slow down, follow the rules of the road, and pay attention and use caution. Whether you are a driver, a cyclist, a pedestrian, however you're getting around, just take that extra step to make sure that you have your full attention on the road and that you are following all the rules of the road. Now, I did share a thing on my website, glengower.ca, around 30 things that we can all do to improve safety on our roads. And some of them I think are obvious ones, like slowing down or more enforcement from police. But there's a lot that really ties into some cultural attitudes around speeding and around safety. So I invite you to read that and think about it. Share your feedback with me if you have some comments. So that's on my website. And again, just please stay safe. I don't want to see any more kids or adults or anyone getting hurt out there on our roads. This week is also Drowning Prevention Week, so a good reminder again, if you're out using a boat, canoe, out on the water, paddleboard, make sure you're wearing a life jacket. That's the number one and simplest thing you can do to keep yourself safe, and make sure that you have some supervision or a buddy with you when you're going out swimming. And there's lots of information on all sorts of different websites. If you search for Drowning Prevention Week, some great tips on how to stay safe in the water. Again, something this time of year, unfortunately, we still have seen a lot of close calls and a lot of really serious incidents this summer in Ottawa. At City Hall this week, the big thing with City Council, where we passed the Transportation Master Plan. This is the capital project list, so the big infrastructure list for transit and roads and cycling and pedestrian infrastructure. And I'm really happy with where we ended up for Stittsville specifically. Lots of much needed road projects. The next challenge will be getting those funded, getting those built. And I mentioned this before, you can go to my website, you can search for TMP or Transportation Master Plan, and you can see a summary of that list of projects for Stittsville. On a citywide basis, I think satisfied, not ecstatic, but satisfied. We've set this goal that by 2046, at least half of all trips in the city should be by a sustainable mode. Sustainable being by transit, on foot, as a carpool, or by bike. That's a pretty big goal. We'd have to shift about six percentage points in that direction, which maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but it is significant. I just don't think we're being ambitious enough in reaching that goal. So I had a couple motions and working on some things that so we can overachieve that 50% and do it sooner than the 2046 horizon. And I'll just say quickly why that's important. And from a Stittsville perspective, I think most people 20 years from now in Stittsville will still need a car and want to own a car. I hope we can get to a point though where families don't feel they need 2 cars or 3 cars, right? Or if you're owning 2 cars now, maybe you could go down to 1 car comfortably and have choices, whether that choice is to take a bus or perhaps a train that'll be in our neighborhood in the future, or whether it's easier to walk or bike to school. These are all ways that we can make that shift, give people more choices, and have more trips happening in those sustainable modes. And even if you have a car, maybe not every trip needs to be by car. Maybe it makes more sense to use the bus for a trip or to use a bike for a short errand. So making it safe and convenient to do those things. For example, here's an example of some trips moved to more sustainable modes. Bluesfest at LeBreton Flats, OC Transpo put out some of the results this week. Nearly 750,000 trips by train to and from Bluesfest. And if you combine that with Canada Day, when they moved about 250,000 people, that means in July, OC Transpo delivered 1 million trips to and from LeBreton Flats for major events, which is pretty incredible. And that's why the having the LRT and its capacity to move thousands and thousands of people every hour is so important as our city continues to grow. And it's running very reliably right now as well. So you can check that out on the OC Transpo website. There is a key performance indicator dashboard, and you can see the monthly stats. And Line 1 LRT now is running very consistently above 99.5% reliability, which is the industry standard. So it means it's running as well as or better than a lot of train systems across North America. And on LRT, if you're planning to use it this weekend, don't, because Line 1 LRT has a weekend closure, not for repairs or anything, but because they are integrating and testing the eastern extension of LRT that goes all the way out to Trim Road. So be aware of that. There are replacement buses running today, and all the information you need at octranspo.com. More locally, a lot of people talking about something I posted on my website and my newsletter about a potential, possible, proposed development at the corner of Hazeldean and Savage. This is another multi-story apartment building. We're going to be doing an information meeting beginning of August 6th, and it'll be online. You can register for that. This hasn't been formally submitted as a zoning application or site plan application. The developer is doing this meeting to get some feedback before they make their final submission. So an opportunity to learn about what they are proposing and why, and share your questions and feedback to the developer on August 6th. The other thing I'm looking for feedback on is Chief Stubbs, Eric Stubbs, the Ottawa Police Chief, is going to be meeting me in Stittsville in a couple weeks' time. And I meet with him at least once a year. These yearly visits are an opportunity for me to share feedback from the community. What I wanted to do this year is really hear directly from you. What's on your mind as it relates to police? And so I've set up a very quick survey. It's got 2 questions. One is to rate police service in our community, and the other is to share any feedback that you want me to pass on to the chief, and you can find that on my website, glengower.ca. Just scroll down on the home page and you will see a picture of the chief and a link where you can share that feedback. So thank you for people who have contacted us so far. I also wanted to mention police did an enforcement blitz last Friday at a number of locations across Ottawa where they see large car gatherings. So these happen late at night, often in parking lots. The one in Stittsville that they targeted was the Food Basics parking lot at Huntmar and Hazeldean. There are over 200 people with vehicles gathered there, and they handed out a number of infractions, including they discovered a potentially stolen vehicle there, which is not good. But often they find permits expired or lack of insurance, sometimes some illegal vehicle modifications, and often the start as gatherings and then end up being street racing. So really glad to see police out last Friday enforcing that. Some more local things. Our Stittsville Main Street flower pilot continues. If you'd like to adopt a flower basket, check out my website or contact me or the Stittsville Business Association for more information. I think we have about 2/3 of the flower pots spoken for, so thank you to all of the people and organizations who've stepped up for that to help to beautify Stittsville Main Street. Today, over at Canadian Tire Centre, there's a hazardous waste depot. The city does these every few weeks all over the city. You can bring your old propane canisters or paint cans. The only thing they don't accept is electronic waste, but any other hazardous chemicals or containers you can bring over to the waste depot. It goes 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I believe over at Canadian Tire Centre. It's a great setup. You'll be in there super quick. The next one in the Stittsville area comes up on November 1st at the Westbrook Snow Dump Facility just off Carp Road. And if you ever have something you need to dispose of quickly, you can go to the Waste Explorer on the City of Ottawa website, put in your item, and it'll tell you where you can take that back to local retailers or recycling depots for safe disposal. Also today, maybe more exciting than a hazardous waste depot, is the Lasagna Jamboree. Yes, the Lasagna Jamboree happening at Village Square Park, part of a fundraising market, 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Village Square Park. They will have lasagna to sample and purchase from a number of local restaurants. So if you're a fan of lasagna, Garfield perhaps, this one is for you. And the next upcoming event I wanted to mention for my team is on August 17th. It's our annual Pride Week flag raising. That'll be on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. at Village Square Park, August 17th. I hope to see you there. It's always a great event. Okay, that's it for me. It's already another warm day. It's going to be a very hot one. I recommend the pool over here at Amberwood to cool off. And I hope you have a great week. Next weekend is the long weekend, so I will be not doing a weekly update, so I'll see you in about 2 weeks or so. Have a great weekend. Take care.